Next question is for Tim. Tim, this past year you qualified for the U.S. Open for the first time. Tell us about the experience of playing at the National Tennis Center.
Well, it was just that. It was an experience. It was my first time at the Open in the main draw, and it just so happened that it turned into a night match. The matches before me went a little bit late, and I ended up going on the court at 7 o'clock, and it was just it was a really great atmosphere. I was playing a Brazilian guy by the name of Tomas Bellucci, and you know, it was a pretty decent match. I definitely had some chances, and I think the entire Brazilian population of New York. It was a lot of fun. It was a great atmosphere, and it was a great experience, and hopefully I'll be back there next year.
Question for both of you. Who were some of your influences in the game? Whose game have you admired over the years? Tim, why don't we start with you?
Well, I think most people who are picking up tennis rackets these days admire Roger Federer. Even though he's not ranked #1 right now, I think it's pretty undisputed that he's one of the greatest ever. So I still enjoy watching him, and you know, he's obviously unbelievable. I was a big fan of a guy named Safin when I was growing up, and tried to kind of model my game after him a little bit.
John?
Yeah, for me, growing up, I obviously played tennis a lot, but so I didn't actually watch it that much, which is actually really surprising. But if there was two players that I idolized growing up, it would have to be probably the two most obvious ones, Sampras and Agassi. So I was, you know, in the 90s when I'm growing up, and you know they were competing in the finals of, it seemed like, every tournament. And although I wouldn't really watch, you know, the tournament as it went along, I'd always find myself in front of the TV watching those two guys, you know, duke it out. If that was really the heyday of American tennis. So to see those guys do so well was a huge inspiration to me.
Next question is for John. You're 6'7". Why tennis and not basketball?
I'm 6'10".
6'10".
Yeah.
Check that. You're 6'10". Why tennis and not basketball?
Yeah, you know, I had to give up one sport when I was 15. I just couldn't play both at that time. The schedules just conflicted too much, and I knew if I wanted to get a college scholarship playing a sport, I would have to focus on, you know, on one of them. I couldn't play both. So it was actually a tough decision. I remember I was laying in bed one night, and I mean, I could have gone either way, because I was, at the time, you know, I was good at tennis. I felt like I was just as good at basketball as well. I told myself that, you know, my only goal was to get a college scholarship, and I thought, you know, tennis would be the best avenue for that. So I gave up basketball. Then I was about 18 years old. I grew 6 inches, which I didn't know. And no clue. I shot past both my older brothers. Had I known I would have been this tall, if someone told me that, I probably would have stuck with basketball. But you know, I didn't experience any, like, you know, knee problems or anything like that. I was real fortunate. A lot of times when you go so fast at a young age, you know, stuff, you know, tends to happen like that. And eventually, you know, after 2-3 years in college, I finally grew into my body, and that's when I started to see, you know, great improvements in my game. So it was, yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely a tough decision, but you know, looking back at it, I think it was the right one.
Tim, same question. Why tennis and not basketball? In all seriousness, why tennis? Why did you pick up a tennis racket when you began your athletic career?
Well, I have a brother who's 4 years older than I am, and he started playing tennis, I guess, when he was about 7, would have been, and I kind of just wanted to follow him around and do what he was doing, and it actually really benefited me a lot, because he was nice enough to practice with me a lot when I was younger, and he's always always good to practice with somebody better than you. And so he really helped my tennis along in that sense, and it was kind of one-sided.
At what age did you whoop him?
I think we stopped playing competitively before that happened. I know I didn't want to see it happen, but I didn't want him to beat me up. But